Hi everyone. I wanted to explore this question, this topic of can you actually truly fall in love? I find this really interesting. I am someone, just a little bit about my experience of this and what I've learned, and I'm here with my guides as always, and they're going to help me kind of get a bit more information, a bit more into this. I'm someone that there's like two different parts of me. There's one part of me that can really fall deeply. I've experienced that before, really deeply, like where you don't realize at the time that it's almost like an obsession, right? And there's another part of me where I am so independent that it's actually really difficult for me to fall in love with someone or really want to be with someone in that way. I'm very particular and about things, and very, very highly independent, and very much like strong-minded, and just want to do whatever I want to do. That's kind of what I'm like. But there are two sides here, and I know one of the patterns that I've come here with is worthiness, in terms of how my worth is not dependent on anyone else's, basically, right? So what my value, my worth is, it does not equate to how someone treats me, how someone sees me, and so on. So relationships, of course, are key for that. I mean, relationships are a way that really, really highlight that. So this is one of the biggest patterns that I've been deleting in my life. And as you're watching this, you know, for anyone who's going through this ascension, this awakening journey, it is fascinating what comes up, right? So for me, this particular topic of can you actually fall in love truly is quite a personal one, I want to say. It's quite a personal one. It's been a personal one in my journey. And, you know, it's one that, you know, like, one that I know working through everything is quite a sensitive topic for me. So, for example, I know I've come here with a lot of sorrow, a lot of heartbreak, and in these lessons that I've been learning in my life, it's been clearing that, right, more and more. So now talking about that and talking about what true love really is, and whether you can actually fall in love with someone. In my experience, and I'm here with my guides, I really feel, and from what I've just seen all around me, that it's like they're kind of saying the same thing, like it's both, like yes and no. So yes, you can feel like you're in love with someone. You can feel like you're deeply, deeply in love with someone, right? Of course, the feeling is true. You feel that. Of course, that's true. However, there is something, it's far, and this is what I feel as well, it's far, far, far more than as simple as that. It is not as simple as that. It is not just about falling in love with someone and there you are forever with that person and that's it, right? It is far deeper, as in when you fall in love with someone, let's just put it down, it's more of a contract that you signed between you two, right? It could be a contract, most likely it's a contract signed between you two. The other part of it to understand is that when you feel like you fall in love with someone, it could be that, yes, like I'm getting the same stuff come up, yeah. A sense that you know that person, If you feel comfortable, you feel safe with that person, you feel like, gosh, you know, you could do this all day and you can talk all night, and you build that kind of, you know, a relationship with that person, well, there's a comfort there, right? So that means you have in most likely in many lifetimes, you have been together, right? So whether you've been together as brother and sister, cousins, like family members, mum and child, you know, anything you can think of, and of course partners, you know, in relationships, friendships, or whatever, but all kinds of different kind of relationships, right? You just feel so comfortable with that person, and that's because you have lived many past lives together. So what's happening in that is if you feel like you've fallen in love with someone and you're in a relationship with someone, there's a contract right between you two, and you've decided, both of you have decided to learn something from each other, right? That's what's going on. You are here to learn from that person. That person is come here to learn from you about yourself. And I've said this before, when it comes to relationships, the only thing that's important in relationships is, what are you learning in that, okay? What is the learning for you? Not about, what are you doing for that person? Are you doing the right thing? Is this the kind of relationship? So on. What are you learning for yourself? Because it's all about how you are working on your internal self. And that is it. That's all that matters. So it's like in that contractual agreement, let's say, that you made with that person, you fall in love, there's I'm getting link. It's very, very similar to a trauma bond, right? So usually we find in relationships, because we are learning from each other, it means there's a trauma that both of us, / experiences that both of us have gone through. And therefore we need that person to highlight what traumas are within us. So for us to release those traumas in our own life. That's basically what's going on. So, and that's why I say it's like a trauma bond. I've said this before, I really don't feel comfortable with using the English language. I feel like it dilutes everything. It's not specific to what it actually is. It doesn't explain things to the fullest. And we are so used to, certain words, a lot of words, being associated with a certain meaning that maybe is not true. But it's the closest thing I can come up with as to what is actually going on. So think of it in that way. Yeah, trauma bond. What are you learning? What are you learning between each other for yourself? The contract you made together before you've come here on a soul level to be able to, work on some kind of relationship, whether it's a partnership, whether it's a friendship, colleague or whatever, right? Family member, whatever relationship it is. But that's basically what it is. So a contract, trauma being played out between you two so you can learn your own life lessons. So when we think about, falling in love with someone, well, yeah, the feeling is there, but why is that? Where is that feeling coming from? What's actually going on? Well, if you see it in a way that for your heart and your soul, on your soul level, you have decided to be with that person before you even came in this life, well, that is what's actually going on. So of course, you're going to feel like you've fallen in love because you're comfortable with them, because there's something here. And in that relationship, in that feeling that you're getting in this kind of closeness with someone, it makes you feel like, oh my gosh, this is love, right? And so we have to, I feel, and I'm just going to say this, but I know me and my guys have had this conversation before. We have to really be truthful and honest with ourselves in terms of what really is true love. What is true love? Is true love love between yourself and someone else, or is true love what's actually within you that we have forgotten, but that we are waking up to right now, right? Which is the self-love, which is all within you. Everything is within you. So what true love really is, we have to be really careful, is not in a relationship. That's what I'm trying to say. What true love really is may not actually be in a relationship. What true love really is within you. So it's really difficult because, again, I've said this before, there is such deep conditioning that we have been under, including relationships, including how we perceive relationships to be like, including what we believe, in our own kind of fantasy world, how something is meant to be and how we are now found this perfect person and we're in love and it's forever and we're going to make this work. Well, what is true love? And I guess I'd ask this to you. What do you perceive as being true love? How do you see true love? Because I know in my experience, in terms of what I'm also being told, that is not true love, but it might feel like it. But again, the feeling is coming from many lives you spent together, how you know that person, how it feels good, if you can feel close and comfortable with them, and karma, of course, then being played out potentially in that as well. So lots of different factors, but is it actually true love? Because is true love actually really within you?